Again, we meet again. Cathar Love 69. Cathar Basics 3. And these basics, as have the same as the previous two videos, it's about love and aspects of love, Cathar love. And we know about love, we know about sexual love, sensual love, lustful love, and we see that in movies and films. I mean, people do amazing things for love, kill for love. But there was also a love when the Cathars arrived, and they elevated women from just being a chattel, something that you bought and sold, something just to add to your family, to join two families. They had women, elevated women as intellectual beings of beauty, women who can have beautiful minds. And part and parcel of this was the troubadours writing their poems of love and satire, and there was also the courts of love. Probably the most well-known exponent of this was Eleanor of Aquitaine, who had two kings for sons, King Richard and King John. She was the Cathar, but the idea of love and the courts of love and extolling love, and this was a l'amour courtisé. It was not a physical love. This was a love like Dante for Beatrice. Dante wrote these beautiful love poems about Beatrice. He only saw her on 3 occasions. He never actually met her, yet he wrote this beautiful poetry about the love of his life. So it's to also to try and to draw our attention to the fact that you can have this deep and abiding love for others. You have your soulmate, you have your family, but you can love others to varying degrees. I mean, where's the rules? I mean, why can't you, for a guy, why can't he love 2 or 3 women, or a woman love 2 or 3 men, or a male love males and a woman love males? All rules are man-made. In nature, there aren't rules. There's homosexuality, and I'm not pushing homosexuality, not for or against, but it's in nature. There's a monkey in the Philippines, and they're more homosexual, heterosexual. It's not, the point is, it's there, it exists, and that's the situation, we accept it. But from the point of view of love, universal love is all encompassing. We're not into exclusions. So these courts of love, and they would have, because the lords, the ladies, they were, they didn't marry for love. They may have learned to love each other, but it was an arrangement. So a knight or another lord or someone could come up, and he could literally fall in love with this lord's wife, and the lord thought, oh, this is not bad. He said, you know, this lord or these knights, they my wife, she must be really something. So he took it as a token of pride or esteem. He didn't look down at all. Jealousy didn't come into it, because he didn't marry his wife for love in the first place. So, from this point of view of love, and how it's bringing a sense of not spiritual, not mystical, but graciousness, good manners, the way that you conduct yourself, that if you have a relationship, any relationship, that you can have a loving relationship with another person, and you conduct yourself with a sense of graciousness, manners, decorum, the way that you treat, the way you act. You can because women want equality. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still open the door for a lady. You can do little things. It's just showing graciousness or the esteem that you hold for that person. It's a form of love. So another story, and also it's one that I told before about Prince Arthur, but it's also because this is the basis. It's hard. With reincarnation, it's a facet of very major facet of Catharism and Gnosticism, returning to the source. And we're a spark of the divine, like a spark, not just coming from a spark coming from a fire, but we're not the fire. We're a spark coming from the fire. Or probably a better analogy is the sun. I mean, if you see sometimes your sun, and there's the sun, and this magnificent sun, and there's these solar flares that shoot up into the sky. So imagine your divine spark, which is this basis of Catharism. Your divine spark is a solar flare that leaps from the sun, and it shoots out. You're of the sun, but you're not the sun. We're not God. We came from the light, divinity, the unknown source of the Gnostics and the Cathars, and we wish to return, and we will return through reincarnation. These are basics. So we're like that shooting solar flare, but we're not the sun. So we understand that. But this love, this is the crux of everything. So, but love, looking at it from a point of view of graciousness and decorum and esteem and how you treat another human being, because it's the act that shows love, not the words. And it's Prince Arthur, and and Prince Arthur, and this is when he was a prince before he became King Arthur, the Arthur of Camelot. And when he was a prince, he rode into by mistake he went into the neighbouring kingdom, and there he was hunting deer, and he shot a deer, killed a deer, and he was captured and taken before the king of that kingdom, who took a liking to young Prince Arthur. And he said, look, the penalty of killing the king's deer is death. But he said, what I'll do is I'll give you a proposition you can't refuse. If you can answer this question, I'll give you 3 months to find the answer. There's only one true and correct answer. And if you can find that answer, please come back to me within 3 months. And if you give me the answers to this, then I'll spare your life. But if you cannot answer it, then you must be prepared to be executed. So Prince Arthur had little choice but to agree, and he agreed. So the king's question was to Prince Arthur, what is it that every woman truly wants? What is it that every woman truly wants? Oh, off he went, Prince Arthur. He asked all the wise people in his kingdom. Love? No, more than that. House, big house, more than that. House with 12 rooms, more than that. House with carriage and lands and gardens. No. He knew there was more to it than that. But he just ran out of wise people, and they just could not give him. He knew if he heard the answer, he would know it. And he's running out of time, because the weeks went by and suddenly the months went by. But a number of people did say that up in the mountains there was this old hag, very dirty, old, one tooth, but very wise. And if anybody knew, she would know the answer. So, barely a week left, Prince Arthur had no choice but to approach the old hag up in the mountains. And when he saw her, and there she was, and she stank, and she had the hair, and she didn't bother about washing, and she had the one tooth, and she was a mess. But with that, she was wise. And she said, yes. She said, I know the answer. And there's only one answer. There's only one true, correct answer. And I know it. I said, oh, well, would you mind telling me? And she said, no. She said, I will tell you. But before I do, I want the hand of your best friend, the knight, Sir Lancelot, in marriage. I want to marry him. And Prince Arthur said, I can't do that. He's my best friend. I can't do that. Anyway, Lancelot heard about the prince's dilemma and how the wise woman knew the question, and he didn't marry the old hag. And he said, no. He said, I'll marry her. There's no problems. He said, we can't have you die. He said, it's okay. He said, I'll marry her. It'll be a proper marriage. And so they got married and had a big wedding feast, and then everyone was there, all the knights and ladies and lords. And everyone's enjoying herself, including the old hag, and she was hoeing into this chicken, and one tooth was ripping away, and she smelt, and she made these odd noises and from various parts of her body. But Sir Lancelot, he treated her with the utmost respect. Whatever she wanted, he looked after her. He was married to her, and he took this marriage seriously. So later they went to the bridal suite, the bedroom chamber, and when Lancelot came out of his toilette, and he'd done his evening ablutions, and he went, and there she was in bed, but instead of being this old hag, he was this absolutely stunningly beautiful young lady. And she was there, and she said, because of how you treated me at the wedding feast, you treated me like a lady with the utmost respect. So therefore, I am this beautiful lady you see before you. Now, I can be this beautiful lady, and you can go to bed with me each night. When we're in private, I'll be this beautiful lady for you, and I'll be a hag during the day, and all your friends will see me with this hag. Or I can be this beautiful young lady that you take in your arm around every day, but at night when you come to the boudoir, to the bedroom chamber, I'll revert to being an old hag. Which do you choose? And Lancelot said, Madam, I'll leave the choice up to you. She replied, because you have done that, I'll be beautiful to you both by day and by night. Good manners also can have its reward, or graciousness. Sir Lancelot, he treated her with love, with respect, with grace. Prince Arthur, what's happening with him? Well, okay. Prince Arthur went back and he went to the king, and the king said, well? He said, yes. He said, I know. And the king said, what is the answer? What is it that every woman truly wants? And Prince Arthur said, sovereignty. The king said, yes, that's it, sovereignty. Every woman truly wants sovereignty. What's sovereignty? Sovereignty is that if you give another sovereignty, you're giving them the right to be themselves, to be 100% themselves. You're not putting any imposition upon them to be what you want, or someone else wants, or what society wants, or religion wants, whatever. You are allowing these people to be themselves, and you're supporting them in their endeavour to simply discover who they are and be themselves and be the best they can be. This is giving another person sovereignty. This is a male giving a lady sovereignty. It's a very, very gracious thing to do. Now, of course, if you could do that, I would say in virtually every case, the woman will return that, and she will give her partner sovereignty as well. What every woman truly wants. Don't we all want to be? Well, firstly, we like to know who we are, discover who we are, and in doing so, be ourselves. None of us are perfect. We've got a dark side, we've got a bright side, and understanding that and accepting the dark side and accepting the bright side, because that's who we are. And we also need to give ourselves sovereignty. It's a story, but it's a good story, and it illustrates another aspect of love and how you can deal with people and how you can deal with others in a gracious manner. It's something that's somewhat gone out of fashion. That doesn't matter. So it's out of fashion. Doesn't matter. We can still employ this and bring this back into our lives, because it helps make life. It brings a little enchantment into life, and we all can do with a little more enchantment in life. I'll say adieu. Bye for now. And again, nice talking to you. Bye.